Today I'm going to be talking all about handlers. So if you were in any of the mind control programs, or if you were ever like a targeted individual or being gang stalked, if you were in the GATE program, or any of the parallel programs, like any programs that are like similar to the GATE program in other countries, you most likely had a handler at one point in your life. And here's what that means. That means that there was somebody who was placed in charge of you by the powers that be, the people that are putting on these programs. And they usually would have had like trigger words to get you to do an action or to change from one personality to another personality, and we call those alters. So if this is something that interests you, be sure to like and subscribe, because we're going to be getting all into that in this video. So here are I didn't know that I had handlers until I did a lot of research, and then I started to look back on my life, and I for sure identified 2 handlers and perhaps a third that was a little bit different setup. And so the really good news is that I have discovered ways to like deprogram yourself so that you're not going to be influenced by the handler or the programs that they try to like get you to flip or whatever. If you look at the links that I have down below, or if you're watching this on Instagram, the links in my bio, then I have a healing bundle that can help you to get rid of this. So stay tuned to find out what all of the signs and everything are and like all about it. So a handler, again, is somebody that has basically control over you. They have been placed in control of you by the powers that be, these programs, and they know how you were programmed. So if you were part of any of these programs, the government or whatever has placed mind control programs within you, and there are triggers that like flip a switch and get you to take an action or activate a program within you or get you to switch personalities. And so your handler may say like a whole bunch of like mumbo jumbo words. And I remember I've had two for sure handlers, and they both used to say things that like were just nonsense. And I can't remember any of them off the top of my head. I just remember being like, I don't like when you say that. And then oftentimes it might trigger you to like feel different or something, or just be kind of like bothered, but then that would trigger a switch in personality, and that might be part of why you don't like it when they say things like that. Now, that is, specifically to activate something within you, a program within you, to get you to do something or to get you to change to a different alternate personality, usually to carry out some type of mission that they have in mind for you. Now, there may be different types of handlers that are not necessarily to get you to switch personalities, but just to like love bomb you and then withhold love, and kind of have a pattern going back and forth. And that's really just to make sure that you're so caught up in whatever is going on with them, or, your little petty problems in your own life, that you can't get ahead in any other area of life. So this might look more like a narcissistic or controlling spouse, boyfriend. You may also have like coworkers or bosses that are handlers, especially if they like, really try to get kind of close with you, and then there's like a lot of drama at work or a lot of pressure. If it's a really high stakes job, like you could legally get in trouble for like messing up. There's, obviously bosses have so much control over us since they control our money and a lot of our free time too. They can do things that really stress us out. So yeah, a lot of times it'll be like a boss or a spouse or significant other, and a lot, it can even be a family member. Sometimes parents or grandparents are, or like aunts and uncles, if they're close, might be handlers. And sometimes people are even placed, like spouses might be handling each other. I don't suspect that in my marriage, and for many reasons. I'm not necessarily going to go into those now, but I definitely had a boyfriend in college who was my handler, and he, I basically had Stockholm syndrome for him. Like, he would love bomb me, and we would be on again, off again, and he would like cheat and then like say it's okay, because we weren't officially dating at that time, that type of thing. And that went on and off for 4 years. And like looking back, there is no reason why I should have stayed around, but he did a lot of things to like lower my self-esteem at the same time, and made me feel like I wasn't going to be able to like find anybody else if I left. So that's a sign to look out for. And then if you have 2 handlers at once, or like if you're in the process of switching from one handler to the next, they may get competitive and like start little petty fights between each other or not like each other very much. And that was the case with mine. And I've decided, I have talked about my other handler in past videos, but I think I kind of want to protect, just kind of protect privacy there a little bit more in the future. So I'm not going to get too much into detail on her, but like the one that was an ex-boyfriend, sure, I'll talk about him. And then there was another person in my life that I suspect may have been a more recent handler that was a little bit different setup. Like they knew that they weren't going to be able to get somebody really close to me to be a handler. And so somebody from a distance, like they have gotten kind of close to me for a while. And like we were friends, and then they really changed all of a sudden in ways that really trigger me. And when we have conversations, and I'm mostly out of this now, every once in a while they'll do something that'll catch me off guard, but and like I'll ruminate about it, but they will say things that like bug me for multiple days, and I will just kind of sit there and ruminate, and there's no reason that I should really care what they think about me or like my life or my choices, but they will say things that make me just feel like I'm a terrible person for like feeling a certain way or like making a certain life choice, because it's different. Like they used to do a lot of the same things that I do and have done, and life choices that I made. And then they went on a completely different, like very strict, straightforward path, with, you know, just very like judgmental and, a shame-based religion. And so I have totally you know, I don't want to be part of that at all. But I also sometimes will do things that, trigger them in that way. And so there's kind of a triggering back and forth. So I don't know if they're also under some type of programming. But that's just another thing. Like I can only really speak to my situations and what I have found. And then also if you are in situations where you are just kind of like threatened a lot, like people break into your car, you have all kinds of like weird physical things happen, like, or they break into your house, they make you feel physically unsafe. Like there was a period of time where like my family had people sitting outside, of our house in trucks for like a month or two, at night, like all turned on, like they wanted us to know that they were there. And then like one time I was like followed home, like somebody just kind of came out of nowhere and like almost hit me. And then like when I got home, they like got out of their car and like stopped and started yelling at me and then just left. So, and then we also used to like just have our cars broken into. Sometimes things were stolen, or sometimes like things were just kind of tossed around. So those are some signs. That's like more gang stalking, but that might also be a sign that you have a handler, just because those two things kind of go hand in hand. It's like a lot of intimidation too, and it's just ways to kind of like keep you mentally unstable so that you cannot get ahead. Their whole goal, I mean, some people have like very specific plans that they want to use you for, but a lot of us that were in the GATE program, if you were stifled, then their goal is more to just keep you subdued and like so that you can't get ahead, so that you're just more worried about your day-to-day. So again, I do have programs that can help you to get out of that. I have one that is like working with any parts or altars that they might try to call up. And then I have another one that is for releasing and removing negative programs. And so that one, you can like go through it, and there's like, you can release anything. Like you can release self-sabotage, which is a lot of what they try to use. You can release like anxiety, OCD, depression. You can release like ties to that person. So there's a lot of things that you can do and a lot of angles that you can come at it from. And that's how I have gotten free from it, is a lot of subconscious reprogramming. And again, I've got classes on that. And there's a healing bundle for $55 right now. You can get both of those classes plus another bonus class that will teach you muscle testing, so that you know that you're releasing exactly the right thing at the right time. So if you're interested in that, again, check the links below or the links in my bio. And thanks so much. See you next time.